I'm Steve Wilmot. I'm a mental health clinician with 16 years experience and I hold a master's degree in forensic mental health. HR managers have a seemingly endless list of responsibilities. Being a HR manager can sometimes feel like you're the meat in the sandwich. There's the pressure from above to perform and get the best out of your staff. And then there's the pull from below from your staff for support and recognition. You're expected to be the rock, the go-to manager who provides empathy and support whilst at the same time getting the best out of your staff. This is very emotionally taxing and this places huge demands on your mental health and if not managed effectively can lead to burnout. Let me ask you a question. Who's supporting you? In today's video, I'm going to introduce you to the relaxation response. I'm going to cover the health benefits of the relaxation response and also an evidence-based strategy that will trigger the relaxation response on demand, just like Netflix. In today's video, I'm going to be talking, as I said, about the relaxation response. And the last video that I made was about the stress response, which is the complete opposite to the relaxation response. So I'll just do a quick recap. I've got the autonomic nervous system here, which is the automatic nervous system. There's the voluntary nervous system where you actually, stick your hand out and shake someone's hand. That's voluntary. This is the involuntary nervous system or the autonomic nervous system. And it's responsible for regulating a whole bunch of processes in the body. Does it automatically, for example, sweating to cool the body. You don't have to think about doing that. The brain does it for you. And the same is the case with the stress response. The autonomic nervous system does that for you when it needs to, for example, you're being attacked by a dog. I spoke about in the previous video. If I'm being attacked by a dog, my body can't get away from the dog if the physiology of my body, the heart rate, blood pressure, stress hormones, glucose, the way it's currently functioning, I can't get away from that dog. However, in an instant, the body kicks in through the autonomic nervous system. There's a cascade of changes physiologically in my body, how it's functioning, heart rate, blood pressure, breathing rate, oxygen consumption all go up, adrenaline surging around, glucose to the muscles for fuel. All these rapid changes allow my body to have a chance of getting away from the dog, yeah? And I don't have to think about doing it. The brain does it for me. That's the autonomic nervous system, yeah? Today, I'm going to be talking about, as I said, the relaxation response, which is the opposite to the stress response. And as I said, when one is on, the other has to be off because they're opposites, yeah? They're like oil and water. Okay, so also in the previous video, I spoke about the example of the chap on the plane having the panic attack sitting next to me. There was one on my, I think it was my left, or it doesn't matter. I was in between two men. One was having a panic attack on one side. The other side, he was calm, collected, just reading a book. This is during the severe turbulence that we experienced. Being attacked by the dog, that's real danger. That's a physical response. So it's the stress response that's driven mainly by physiology. However, in the case where the chap's having the panic attack on the plane due to the turbulence, that's actually not real danger. Although it feels unsafe to some people, it's his mind telling him that he's going to die, and most other people on the plane aren't thinking that, but he is. So that's what we call the psychological stress response, yeah? And again, it creates the same physiological changes over here with the body. If I was being attacked by the dog, it's the same response when I'm sitting on that plane, that person, and having that panic attack. It's the same response. And the point is that in modern life, see, this ancient adaptation, fight or flight stress response, wasn't meant to be activated multiple times per day. It was meant to be activated for imminent life-threatening danger, like the dog attacking me, yeah? So if somebody is panicking all the time or getting angry all the time, choose your emotion. If it's intense enough, bang, this fight or flight response kicks on, hence fight or flight. If it's often enough, it damages the body. It wasn't meant to be switched on all the time, and it damages the heart, it damages the immune system, it damages the mind, causes anxiety and depression and burnout too, when this stress response is kicked on or activated too often. Now, like I said today, we're talking about the complete opposite, the relaxation response. And just like the stress response, it's also automatic. Yeah, it's the autonomic nervous system. You don't have to think about doing it. So for example, you're having a good time, you're doing something you enjoy, you're hanging out with friends and family at a barbecue, or you're doing some art that you really enjoy, meditation, whatever, fill in the blank. Anything that you find enjoyable that makes you feel good, that feeling, that good feeling, that actually creates the relaxation response. And there are physiological changes that take place within your body, okay? So, like I said, it's automatic. So let's say you're watching a funny movie and you're feeling good and you're laughing and you're having a good time. What happens is it's the opposite to the stress response. So your heart rate goes down, your blood pressure drops, your breathing rate drops, oxygen consumption drops, stress hormones drop. And this is so good for the body. This is so healing, yeah? The brain does that for you. It makes those physiological changes for you. You're not there at the barbecue having fun going, oh brain, come on, I'm feeling good. Can you please make those changes? It does it naturally. It does it automatically for you. Now, the point is that it's instinctive to laugh and feel good, because we enjoy it, right? We sometimes forget that there are health benefits to feeling good, to laughing, or to activating the relaxation response. There are actual techniques and specific strategies we can use and learn that actually switch on the relaxation response like that, on demand, like Netflix, yeah? Okay, so I'm going to talk about now the health benefits for triggering the relaxation response. And one of the health benefits is the effect it has on the brain, our brain waves in particular. There's 5 main brain waves that the human brain experiences at any given time: gamma, beta, alpha, theta, and delta. And that's going from high intensity, gamma, down to low intensity, down here to delta. Now, the high intensity here, gamma, you can see they're very short, the distance between the brain waves here. That would be the stress response, highly engaged and reacting, a lot of blood flow to the brain, reacting, and a lot of fast movement in the brain there, the brain waves. The next one down here, slightly less intense, still fairly focused, but you can see the gap between the brain waves, it's about double compared to the one up here, gamma, so it's getting less intense. So beta would be quite focused, operating a machine, driving a car or a truck, where you're quite focused. That would be beta. The next one down here, the next 2 actually, alpha and theta, again, you can see that they're much longer, the gaps between the brain waves compared to the previous one. So alpha and theta, as I said, these 2 are the patterns we go into when we're in flow or in the zone. Now, the flow state is when we do our best work. If you're an athlete or an artist or any discipline at all, if you are engrossed in what you're doing and really focused on the task, these are the brainwaves you go into. And the brainwave, as you can see, it slows down. And this is actually, you'd think that's more productive up there. It's not more productive. The most productive brainwaves are down here in flow state. So if you're like I said, it doesn't matter if you're a mathematician or a scientist or an artist, whatever the sportsman, a musician, doesn't matter what the discipline, if you're in these 2 states down here of flow, you're doing your best work. Time slows down, output goes through the roof, and it seems easy and effortless. So that's why people want to understand how to get into flow more often, because they do their best work and it feels good and it's easier. That's flow. So alpha and theta, again, theta is a longer brain wave. And the final brain wave is delta. Now, this is deep sleep. And you can see the huge gap in between brain waves. Now, you can see that if you're up here in gamma or beta, where your brain's very active, thinking a lot and, a lot going on, you can see that if that's required for deep sleep down here, delta, you can see that you're not going to be able to sleep if your brain's overactive. And this is one of the main causes of insomnia, which is having an overly active brain. And that's why people, recommend, and I do too also, is meditating and mindfulness, various activities, especially in the evening, to wind your mind down from this busy, active brain throughout the day when you're doing a lot of things to this meditative theta down here. And theta is the brainwave that we go into prior to sleep. So when you lay down in bed and you're feeling relaxed and drowsy and you're tired and you lay down, you're nice and comfortable, you've just had a shower and you're aware of your surroundings, but you're slightly at a different altered state of consciousness. You're not asleep yet, but you're in between sleep and wake. That's theta. Yeah, that's the brainwave pattern you go into when you're meditating, which is why meditating just before sleep, if you had a very busy, active day, doing meditation before sleep that slows your brainwaves down and gets you into theta, well, going to sleep is actually quite easy then, because you're so relaxed, your brainwaves are slow, and everything is going in the right direction for sleep. Other health benefits to eliciting the relaxation response include heart health. When the stress response is activated multiple times per day or regularly, this is very damaging, as I previously covered, to the heart. It increases blood pressure, it causes a condition called atherosclerosis, where the arteries get worn out, there's wear and tear, they get damaged, and increases the likelihood of all sorts of heart issues such as clots, stroke, heart attack. These are all risks when we are constantly stressed and activating the stress response on a regular basis. When we activate or trigger the relaxation response, this counteracts the damage that the stress response is doing, and it actually decreases the blood pressure when we trigger the relaxation response. Blood pressure drops, heart rate drops, and this is very good for the heart, very healthy for the heart, very heart promoting in terms of health, the relaxation response. What else? The immune system. So the immune system benefits greatly from the relaxation response. A study was done with actors, and they got a group of actors to, on one day, watch a sad movie, and then at the end of the day, they measured their blood. They took their blood and looked at their stress hormones, etc. And on the other day, the next day, they got them to watch a happy movie, and the same. At the end of the day, they measured their blood, took their blood, and looked at their immune system. And of those 2 days, on the sad day, their immune system function dropped. And when they measured their blood after the happy movie on the following day, their immune system function increased. So it's no surprise, is it? When you're run down, you get sick, yeah? It's the same with this. So when you, like the stress response damages or impairs the immune system, if you like, it impairs its function anyway. And when we trigger the relaxation response, the opposite to the stress response, it actually improves the functioning of the immune system. What else? Pain. So if you experience chronic pain, triggering the relaxation response is very helpful. Does it make the pain go away? Well, maybe not go away, but it certainly doesn't. Like when we're feeling pain and we're stressed at the same time, they're two different things. There's the pain, and then there's the stress you put on top of the pain that exacerbates the pain, right? So it's the opposite for the relaxation response. If you're in pain and you are able to relax and trigger the relaxation response, the pain is less intense and it doesn't bother you as much, and the way you interpret and perceive the pain is much easier to deal with. So there's that too, pain. What else? Of course, mental health. So triggering the relaxation response is really beneficial for the mind. Anxiety drops, our mood increases with the relaxation response, our concentration, our memory, all these factors that are to do with the mind are all enhanced when we're relaxed. And of course, if we're feeling relaxed, our stress drops, right? It's the opposite, yeah, stress and relaxing. So when we're relaxed, stress drops, stress hormones drop, blood pressure drops, we're not stressed. So therefore, if we're not stressed, we can't be burnt out. We can't go down the path of burnout if we're not stressed, if we're relaxed more often than we're stressed. So there are huge benefits there for triggering the relaxation response for all different body systems, in particular the mind, mental health. I'm now going to introduce you to a structured, scientifically proven technique or strategy that will trigger the relaxation response. So this is called the 4-7-8 breath that I'm about to demonstrate and show you. And the 4-7-8 breath is a structured breathing technique that involves breathing through the abdomen, and this technique actually triggers the relaxation response. Therefore, it actually switches off the stress response, off, and the relaxation response goes on with this technique. So adults tend to breathe high with their chest and their shoulders like this. And the lungs come like this, down under the rib cage. So when we breathe with our shoulders, with our accessory muscles, and with our chest, and that's high, like this, it's shallow too. It's not deep and slow. We're not getting all the oxygen into our lungs. And when we breathe like this, it actually makes the stress response worse and actually makes us more tense, yeah? Not getting enough oxygen in, and it actually makes that part of the nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system, more active. Whereas science shows when we use our belly like this to breathe, watch this, watch my shoulders don't move. And here. Push it out like you're pregnant, pushing out to inhale. I'm going to do one round of the 4-7-8 breath, and it's in for 4, hold for 7, out for 8, tongue behind the teeth, and that's using the belly to breathe. That's one set, and we do it 4 times, and that's one cycle, and then that's it. Okay, so I'll show you one set. Okay, so I'll use my hand to show you the numbers. So lungs are empty. I encourage you to use the 4-7-8 breath multiple times per day, especially at work when you're under pressure. I've taught this technique to many patients over the years, patients with histories of trauma and major mental illnesses like chronic depression. These patients, when they learnt the technique, got great relief from stress and anxiety. Taking a proactive approach to managing stress will allow you to make better decisions as a manager. It'll allow you to have a better control over your emotional state, and it will improve your mental health as well as your physical health, and ultimately make you an even better HR manager. That's all I've got time for today. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Steve Wilmot. Bye for now.